My name is Alex Carter. I once had big dreams and ambitious goals, but sometimes life hits you so hard that getting back up feels nearly impossible. This is the story of how one cold November day changed my life forever. It was a gray and freezing afternoon in Chicago. I was leaning against the wall of a building near Millennium Park. I wore an old, worn-out coat, a gray beanie pulled low over my head, faded jeans with frayed knees, and scuffed brown boots with holes in them. My hands were trembling, and in front of me was a cardboard sign that read, "Please, help a veteran in need." No one looked me in the eye. No one saw me. The only thing I felt at that moment was hopelessness. Then something happened. Out of the crowd, one man stopped. Donald Trump, wearing a long dark overcoat and a bright red tie. People stared at him with curiosity, but he was only looking at me. There was no judgment in his eyes, only compassion. He approached me and asked softly, "What's your name, friend?" My throat tightened. Alex Carter," I whispered. He nodded, studying my face for a long moment. There was something in his eyes, something I hadn't felt in a long time. I felt seen. "How long have you been here, Alex?" he asked. "Far too long, sir," I replied. "I lost my job, I lost my home, I couldn't pay my debts, and I never managed to recover." My eyes filled with tears, but Trump never looked away, not even for a second. He pulled out his phone and dialed a few numbers. "Get a room ready. Send a doctor. Take this man somewhere warm," he said firmly. I didn't quite understand what was happening, but something inside me began to shift. While we waited, he brought me a steaming bowl of soup and a sandwich. As I sipped the soup with trembling hands for the first time in months, I felt human. He asked about my life, my old job, my family, the dreams I had as a child, and how everything slowly fell apart. As I spoke, tears welled up in my eyes, but he listened. Every word, every pause, he was really listening to me. A while later, a sleek black SUV pulled up to the curb. Trump extended his hand to me and said, "This car will take you somewhere warm, Alex. Everything is about to change." Slowly, I stood up and climbed into the SUV. Inside, I felt something I hadn't felt in years, hope. The car took me to a luxury hotel. The lobby was warm, bright, and welcoming. Clean clothes, a warm bed, and a doctor awaited me. For the first time in ages, I took a hot shower. When I looked into the mirror, I saw someone I hadn't seen in a long time. The old Alex. Maybe, just maybe, he was still in there. The next morning, a woman named Emily visited me in my room. She offered me a fresh start. A charity organization would provide me with housing, employment, and education opportunities. My eyes welled up with tears again as Emily said, "You're still strong, Alex, and this life, it's starting over for you now." A few hours later, Trump visited my room. He looked me in the eye and said, "Alex, from here on out, it's in your hands. We'll cover your rent for the first year. But I ask just one thing. One day, help someone else. Pay it forward." In that moment, for the first time in years, I felt like I had a future. A few days later, as I walked out of that hotel, I knew I was stepping into a new chapter of my life. Trump's words still echoed in my ears. Pay it forward.